Okay. I don't know how long I'm gonna stream today, and let me turn my volume up. I'm a little quiet just because I'm in a different area with a different mic. So, I need to turn down my volume as well. I did a little bit of cooking um, off stream, and what I've realized is I need to do some more prep work. And by that I mean like, okay. So, first off, I was looking ahead, both at the future battles and like both the route above Route 111 and also Watson's gym and Watson himself. And I think I need to use a candy on Fungus. Also, I need to teach Masquerain and Ampharos something. So let's take care of all of that stuff first. Rare candy on Fungus. Okay. We got our Amoonguss. And now what we need to do is go all the way back to Slateport. It's a shame that I can't just go down, but it's okay. Also, I'm on my single monitor right now, so if people chat and I don't respond in time, that's why. But dorm room stream. I hope that everything's like all the audio and everything's okay. Uh, it's a bit of a janky setup. Wait, can I go back? Okay, good. It would have been okay for the one, like slightly worse for the one, and would have been really bad for the other. Okay. So, we go over here. We want to teach Hidden Power. We want to teach Hidden Power to Masquerain, who has Hidden Power Rock. And then we also need to teach Hidden Power to Ampharos, who has Hidden Power Ice. It's so annoying that I have to loop all the way around, but it's fine. Okay, now we go back. Okay, so the goal for today is at the bare minimum, get the encounter for 111 with fishing, and fight Wally. So, starting out, we have a double battle, which is very annoying. We are leading Beedrill and Walrein. I already have all these cooked up. We need Ampharos, who we have. Dreadnought, Donphan, and Kadabra, which are mostly backups. So, in terms of items, we need Pecha on Ampharos, Orin on the three bottom mons, and Nevermelt Ice on Walrein. Now we just need to damage Beedrill to somewhat low HP. I believe it has to be below 12 HP. So I'm gonna go back probably to the forest. I guess I should have done this over there instead of having to go through and then back and then through and then back, but it's okay. I can do it maybe here. Let's try it over here. Uh, yeah, it should be fine. Okay. This will take a while. So yeah, this will probably be more of a shorter stream. I don't know. I'm not like super energized, but I do really want to stream, mostly just so like I can start cooking the gym trainers. Like I tried looking into Kirk and I realized I really kind of need my encounter first. So, yeah. Okay, 26, we're almost there. 19, 12, perfect. Let's heal up Walrein. Alright, cool. And let's go. So it's these trainers right here. So I need, yeah, Nevermelt Walrein. No item Beedrill at 12 HP or lower. Pechaberry Ampharos with HP Ice. I could have also tried to teach, I could have also taught, oh my god, I'm blanking on the... I could have taught Ice Punch, but the Vileplume's effects score, so I would prefer HP Ice. And then Oran. So we should be good. Let's go. Excuse me. Very thirsty. Okay, so they lead with, oh, I don't have the right trainer. Give me a moment. There we go. Yeah. Good. So they lead Farfetch'd Blossom here. So my goal is to KO the Blossom side because, they only have the 2 Mons on that side compared to the 3 Mons on the other side. So Beedrill's going to endure, bait a double attack because it's at 12 HP. Slash. I endure the hit. Roar Beam on the Blossom. And Giga Drain on the Beedrill. Perfect. So... now I can just Aurora Beam again and swap to Ampharos. They slash. That was a crit. I think it's auto crit. But as you can see, I'm fine. I'm living. KO the Blossom. Let me double check something. Okay, so in a double battle, HP Ice does 43%. Walrein, Nevermelt. Okay, no, I do have to Aurora Beam. Beedrill levels up. That's a little annoying, but it's fine. Vileplume comes out here. I Aurora Beam plus HP Ice the Vileplume. They slash again. I'm left on a little bit of HP static. Doesn't really matter, but it's nice. Hidden Power. And Aurora Beam, bolt out speed. And it goes down. Alright, now, I can kind of just... now since it's a 1v2, it's a lot easier, obviously. Nevermelt Ice Aurora Beam actually just OHKOs the Farfetch'd. And I can swap into Donphan on, Leaf, like a random move. Worst case scenario, if I went to Dreadnought, would be Leaf Blade, which would just OHKO. Wait, what am I? Oh, wait, because it's static. Okay, well, that's good, I would say. So they have Arbok and Watchog in the back. There you go, Watchog. That's fine. They have Hyper Fang, Iron Tail, Aqua Tail, Revenge. So I will just... How fast are they again? They are 49 speed, meaning I probably should just attack them. I can go for a Aurora Beam plus knockoff here. Barely lives. That's fine. As they revenge the Walrein, I should always live this. Is that a crit? No, I just didn't always live that. Okay. That's okay. I can go, I believe... I should have planned out the last part of this fight more. So... Okay, I'm gonna go Dreadnought here, and I'm going to Ice Shard. And then Arbok is their final guy, who really cannot touch Donphan. I think in retrospect, I definitely should have brought Gligar to this fight instead of Kadabra, but you know what? We're here now, so... Okay, so... Arbok against Dreadnought will... It's either going to Coil or Stomping Tantrum here. I am just going to... I think... Rock Tomb is better. So Rock Tomb plus Knockoff. They do Coil, which is kind of scary, because I should have put more prep into this fight after this point, but I was just like, eh, whatever. Rock Tomb does a bit of damage. Knockoff does some damage, gets rid of their Black Sludge. I don't know why I didn't bring a fighting type. Anyway, I'm going to Razor Shell and Knockoff again, I guess. Razor Shell does a good chunk. Gunk Shot onto the Donphan slot. Does not do much, yeah. And another Razor Shell and Ice Shard just kills. Cool. Alright, well that was sketchy when it should not have been sketchy, but that's okay. So. This next fight, though, was, I believe, yeah, this next fight was the hardest one for, of these three to prep. Because the Butterfree, well, it was less of the Butterfree and more of the Semi-Seer afterwards. A lot of the it was a combination of the two, realistically. But a lot of the Mons, or pretty much every Pokemon I had, that were able to take on the Butterfree really struggled because they would bait in the, oh, and I need a Mungus here, by the way. They would bait in the semi-stage, and the semi-stage would be going for a random move, which would be really bad. This fight, I also realized that I don't really have great answers into things without a Mungus. And so, yeah, okay. So, in terms of items, I already taught HB Rock to the thing, to the Masquerain, but I also need to give it a hard stone. Never Melt Ice on Donphan. And then Orin on Amoonguss, Chesto on Dreadnought, Chesto on Breloom, and I'm actually using a Citrus Berry here on Ampharos. I don't really have much of an option, and honestly, like, this run's probably gonna die soon, so realistically, using the Citrus Berries should be fine. I don't see myself running out of Citrus Berries before I wipe. Anyway. Picnicker Bianca. So, a Hidden Power Rock Masquerain was the only Pokemon I have that or the only way I found to outspeed and one-hit KO this Butterfree. So I use Hidden Power Rock. Crit does not matter, that always KO'd. And this should bait in Semi-Sage, always using Rock Slide. This is why I use Masquerain here, because Semi-Sage was a massive problem clicking random move after Specs Butterfree did a bunch of damage. So I can just go into Amoonguss here, who can tank the Rock Slide really well. It can tank Rock Slide crit into the upcoming Acrobatics crit because of the fact that it has an item right now. It's holding a white herb. Sludge does a lot of damage. And poisons. That might kill. Is that fine? I think it's fine. Yeah, that should be fine. Okay. Oh, I forgot. Okay. Nice white herb glitch. So I forgot to pre-poison the Donphan, which means that, in theory, this guy could double, or I could hypnosis this guy. However, I am at 67 HP, meaning that they either they see a kill, so they're never going for they are never going for hypnosis here, so I can go into my Dreadnought. Gotta lock in a bit more. They do double edge. And now I go for a Rock Tomb. As a jump kick, I always live. Get some good damage off. Now I need to go through Ampharos. Why am I going through Ampharos? I genuinely don't remember. So Ampharos at 79. I think it was just to make sure that they never Zen Headbutt me. But did they ever Zen Headbutt? Okay, I don't know what the hell I was doing. Yeah, I don't know what the hell I was on about. Anyway. Because of that blunder, Breloom actually has a chance to die here. If they get high roll crit. This was a sloppy fight. Double edge. Okay. And let me readjust my move order. Mach Punch kills, and that's the fight. Sloppy fight, but we won. So. Okay. Then the last trainer was the easiest out of these to prep for. Kindler Hayden here. Despite having an explosion mon, it was pretty simple because Dreadnought just kind of shreds this fight. Well, not shreds, actually. Well, no, it does. Okay, so. Bust these guys, withdraw. So we need Sawsbuck. We need Walrein, Donphan, Quillfish, which are mostly just backups. Okay. In terms of items, first I'm on Ampharos. Dreadnought gets Hardstone. No item on Sawsbuck. Wise Glasses on Walrein, just in case. And then Orin on the other two. And we need to pre-damage Sawsbuck to 80 HP. Okay, 84, 83, 82, 81, 80. I'm at 79. Does that matter? Sawsbuck at 79 HP. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. So we use an antidote. Let me just double check everything's good. Persim, none, Hardstone, Orin. This guy's pre-damage. Okay, cool. Oh yeah, there's that area. Anyway, fight me. Alright, so basically this fight's all about getting in Dreadnought to a position to sweep. So I need to use Cotton Spore on this Oricorio. It teeter dances, then it's perfectly okay. I have my Personberry, and I can lower its speed with Cotton Spore. Now I can switch out into Sawsbuck here. They are going for any move besides Air Slash because they just will never go for Air Slash here. They Revelation Dance, perfect. Now they will always Air Slash here. And I can go into my Dreadnought. And with the speed drop from Ampharos, I outspeed. And with Hard Stone, Rock Slide KOs reliably. Now, since I outspeed and one-hit KO Heatmor and Camerupt, they should always go into the Turtonator. Sorry about that. Yeah. Turtonator comes in, and I can just Rock Slide them twice. I live any hit they throw at me with my Shell Armor. I'm sure you're tired of me talking about my Shell Armor ability. Dragon Pulse. I believe it was random between Dragon Pulse and Earthquake. I live, I outspeed, put Rock Slide, and I can just speed up the rest of this fight. Heatmor comes in. I KO Heatmor with Rock Slide. In fact, Razor Shell also KOs. But I will go for Rock Slide, which KOs, and then Camera comes in, which I can kill with a Razor Shell. Cool. Okay. So, let's get my encounter, shall we? Now the question is, do I want to use Static here? Because the encounter table does include an electric type, I believe. Route 111, fishing. Okay, so without Static, none of these are dupes. So basically, Shellos, we're looking for Shellos, we're looking for Tympole, Palpitoad. I will also take Stunfisk. So it's basically a 15%. In fact, yeah, no, I definitely don't Static here. I also probably don't want to use my Sync on this. So let's just grab a party that can do this. You. Give warrants to everything. Alright, let's go. We are really hoping for, I think Gastrodon would maybe be best just because, like, okay, let me take a look. Seismitoad, doesn't that evolve at, yeah, so I would have to candy the Seismitoad, which I do have one more candy, I guess. I would have to candy Seismitoad, which would suck. So I think, even though I think Seismitoad's a better Mon, I'm still hoping for Gastrodon. I will also take Stunfisk. We get Shellos, okay. Time to spam balls. Cool. Alright, we got Shellos. Hooray, we got another ground type after we lost Mudsdale. So, is there any reason to delay Shellos at all? Like, obviously I need Gastrodon. It evolves at level 30. Yes, there is an important reason too. I need to delay for Earth Power. So I can use my Everstone for a moment. Okay, move Shellos, get in the party, buddy. Alright. Give it the Everstone, and I need to remember to be careful with leveling it up too much. So endless candy, so Mud Bomb. I mean, Mud Shot could be useful. It has HP Fire, which is cool. Whirlpool, I'm gonna say no. AP, I will take AP over Hidden Power since I can always reteach HP or Hidden Power. Okay, Earth Power. We replace Sludge Bomb or Mud Bomb. Now we take off the Everstone and we level it up one more time and it evolves. Perfect. All right, let's check it out. Brave Nature is whatever. Pretty good. I mean, it's not great, but it's pretty good. 31 HP is great. And yeah, okay, I'm happy with that. Let me export my sets real quick. Into the calc. And now we have the always terrifying Wally fight. So naturally this is a pretty common run killer. So it's, important to make sure I prep against it well, which I did, obviously. Also in case, I don't know if anyone would, from the appearance alone, you can tell it's a joke, right? Like, okay, so. I did prep for this fight anyway, but the prep was that Chesto Quillfish just solos. In fact, I don't even believe it needs to be Chesto, but I will give it a Chesto Berry just to play things safe. Because it should just be able to outspeed, one-shot the Ralts, and then one-shot the other guy. Poison Jab, Poison Jab. It is a very funny trainer, but I do kind of wish they gave the Ralts actual moves. Like if it had like Psychic, Dazzling Gleam, Calm Mind, or something. I think that would be funny. Anyway, so. Got past there. Now let's cook, because I still have a bunch of gym trainers to fight. Hooray. Oh, I wasn't even showing the fight. Okay, well, that's a fight that's okay to not be shown. Okay, whatever, it's fine. So, I actually already cooked Kirk a bit. So, Donphan, Ampharos, Gligar. Donphan can basically, on the Pincurchin, I click knockoff into rapid spin spam until I get rid of their toxic spikes, or rather until I kill them or they go for liquidation, and then I kill them with bulldoze. Is there a reason why I'm not just clicking bulldoze? Because I can bulldoze them if they eat their Citrus Berry. It doesn't matter. If I get a crit, that would save time and potentially HP. Anyway. Ampharos just can take care of the Drifblim very simply. The Toxtricity I can go into Gligar on. But this Raichu is kind of scary, which is why I'm very happy to have Gastrodon now. So it looks like I can come in on, if I can bait Discharge, I can come in and click Soft Sand. So Gastrodon, Soft Sand. And now I just need to make sure I have a pivot that can come in on whatever it needs to. So against Donphan, it's clicking Surf. Against Ampharos, it's clicking Psyshock. Against Gligar, it's clicking Surf. However, so basically, Walrein can come in on anything that isn't a Discharge, which is nice. And bait, the move I needed to bait. I think that's kind of my only Pokemon that can come. Actually, Amoonguss can come in and bait. Okay, so Amoonguss can come in on anything. And as long as I could run Citrus on this guy to make sure that I consistently bait Psyshock. Then I can go to Walrein, who even if I get crit by Psyshock, I always bait Discharge, and then I go Gastrodon. So that seems like a good plan. So boom. I need Donphan, Ampharos, Gligar, Amoonguss, Walrein, who's already in my party, and Gastrodon. Oh, that's annoying. That's fine. Alright. In terms of items, and yeah, just in terms of items, Donphan gets Orin, Ampharos gets Wise Glasses, Gligar gets Pecha, Amoonguss gets Citrus, Walrein gets Orin, Gastrodon gets Orin. Actually, no, Gastrodon, because I'm hyper paranoid, I'm giving it Person. Actually, no, Orin's better. Okay, let's go. Kirk time, baby. Alright, buddy. I am showing the right screen. We are good. So Kirk is scary because they have Pincurchin here who sets up the electric terrain. It shouldn't be too big of a deal though. I'm just gonna click Bulldoze. If it crits, it's great. Otherwise, it'll be slightly annoying, but it's okay. I crit, so that saves some time. And potentially it could be good because there's a small chance they could Liquidation me on Rapid Spins while they set up Toxic Spikes. Anyway, they go Drifloon here. No matter what they do, they use their Electric Seed first to get their Unburden boost. But Ampharos can come in, tank whatever 2 hits it wants to go for here. And with my Wise Glasses, in the electric terrain, Shockwave always KOs. Then they go Tox. No matter what Toxtricity goes for, Gligar can come in. Let me just double check that. Yes, Gligar can come in on whatever it wants. If it uses Sludge Bomb, I Pecha, though I don't believe the poison would matter anyway. And then I outspeed and one-hit KO with Bulldoze. Oh, you know what I just realized? Oh my god. Okay, that's bad. Okay. I sped up and I wanted to check if I gave Gastrodon the correct item, which I didn't. I forgot. I should have wrote it down, but I needed to give Gastrodon the Soft Sand. Okay. This should be random move. Just completely random move. Signal Beam, okay. Now we go into Walrein. Who tanks the Psyshock. And then we go Gastrodon on a Discharge. Now the question is, okay, deep breaths. So Earth Power KOs 62.5% of the time. I can basically just pivot back to Donphan on this, so I should be okay even if Earth Power does not KO. And I believe I should always tank crit Psyshock. Okay. Earth Power, crits. Okay, well. Never punished, I guess. Trying to get better at taking all the items off Mons at the end of battles. Especially with my Orins, or Citruses, which I realistically should be conserving. Okay. Next battle. I didn't scroll down for Kirk. Sorry, Kirk. We got Vivian, who has 5 Pokemon. Fun. Okay. So they lead with Volbeat, who has Tail Glow Baton Pass. Oh boy. That's rough. Gligar with Muscle Band, maybe? How much does Muscle Band? Bulldoze in the Fly doesn't KO. Okay. No electric terrain. So I don't really have anything that like is great. like that outspeeds it and KOs it, nor do I have anything that can like Icy Wind it before it does anything. You outspeed, don't kill it in 1. And like takedown recoil plus Bug Buzz crit could kill. Dreadnought can do it. So, okay. Dreadnought, I need Cherry. Dreadnought, Rock Tomb into Rock Slide, Volbeat. Then, depending on the damage I take, I either don't take any damage or I take between 31 and 38. 31 is what? That's 69-ish, so then 62. Let's say I'm at 62 or 61.8. I'll just put 62. Okay, well, Jolteon always comes in anyway. Jolteon always comes in, and Thunderbolts, they go Jolteon and use Thunderbolt. So what happens? I'm curious. So they do have very high odds to go for Magnet Rise against my ground type Pokemon ground moves. That is actually kind of scary. Because, well, the issue is Hyper Voice just does a lot of damage when I cannot hit them with super effective damage. Man, I miss Mudsdale so much. Mudsdale would have been so good for this fight. Like, I don't think it's ever Gligar. Gligar takes too much damage. I mean, what I can do is pivot through Donphan, who can come in on a T-Bolt. Like, do I have anything that, like, actually threatens this guy that much? I could also just go into Amoonguss and start Giga Draining. Like, honestly, I think Burned Citrus Amoonguss is better here. Spring Amoonguss in on Jolteon. I think it's probably better to pivot through Donphan. Donphan into Amoonguss. On Jolteon. KO with Giga Drains. Miracle Seed helps. So, okay. Donphan, which I don't know what item yet. Amoonguss. Miracle Seed. And then I assume that Oricorio comes in afterwards. Not you. Because Oricorio outspeed, outdamages me with Air Slash. And it does more damage than everything else in the back, so they should go Oricorio. I hate how TCG Pocket has done irredeemable damage. Irreparable damage. I don't think that's the right word, but I'm going with it. To my brain, because now whenever I see Oricorio, I'm like, oh man, I have to not use my EX guys against this guy. Anyway, they're clicking Air Slash or Teeter Dance. Using Air Slash or Teeter Dance. What I can do is Dreadnought doesn't take that much. I can pivot through Dreadnought to guarantee Revelation Dance into something. Donphan doesn't quite work. I mean, honestly, maybe it's just Ampharos and click HB Ice. Yeah, I think, okay. Pivot through Dreadnought into Ampharos to a KO with HB Ice. And then I give Ampharos the, Hurstim Berry. Yeah, okay. And then Ampharos... I mean, I think it doesn't matter too much. So if they go U, they're clicking Low Kick. I think Donphan is probably my answer into this guy. Maybe Gligar. Yeah, Gligar is great into this guy, and Gligar is awful into the Gal. The Galvantula is going to be the biggest problem, I think. Because it kind of has coverage for all my ground types. How the hell do I deal with this Galvantula, actually? I don't know if I have an answer to this guy. They just hit all of my Mons super effectively. Huh. Well, yeah, I mean, they don't hit Beedrill super effectively, but they still two-shot. Huh. I wish I had a Salazzle just about right now. Really feeling the snowball. So against Zebstrika, I can probably just go Gligar for Zebstrika and 2-KO with Bulldoze. So, I hate how Chrome uses a billion memory. Okay. Rost, Gligar beats Zebstrika. So I basically have Donphan +1 to beat the Galvantula. I also could just pivot through. Can I pivot through Gligar? Yeah, I can also just pivot through Gligar. So I can do Gligar here. Pivot. Gligar. Okay. So I have 2 slots to beat Galvantula. Where's Gligar? So they're either coming in on Ampharos or Gligar here. Unfortunately, I think on Gligar, they're likely to click any non-Thunderbolt move. Against Ampharos, they are most likely to just Signal Beam. I think Ampharos should be at high enough health where they always Signal Beam. Ampharos can maybe get a Cotton Spore off. If I get a Cotton Spore off, they're much more manageable. Though I still don't have anything that one-shots it besides Dreadnought, who takes a lot of damage. At least with my current plan, but if I can guaranteed bait HP Ice, then I can do the Dreadnought plan. So I believe the only Pokemon that guaranteed baits HP Ice would be Gligar. So what I can do... Okay. So the plan is Donphan. We're going back to Donphan here. So pivot Donphan into Amoonguss. And then Ross Donphan beats Gligar. Or Zebstrika. Now, if we get a Cotton Spore off with Ampharos, so they're either in on Donphan. So against Donphan, they're clicking HP or Giga Drain, maybe one of their other moves. So I need to bait Thunderbolt into Ampharos here. So I need to bait Thunderbolt into Ampharos. Who can come in on any move? I think Qwilfish can. I think Tenta can. Tenta is probably better here because in a pinch I can go for... So I can go... Okay. I think I'll just figure it out. So Tenta, Cruel, Orin, or actually, Cherry. And Gligar can come in on Thunderbolt. Gligar can be kind of whatever item, honestly. I will go Rost just in case I messed up or something. Okay. So, we have our plan. It's not amazing, but that's what happens when you lose Mons to Shell. Okay. So we need Dreadnought, Donphan, Amoonguss, Ampharos, Tentacruel, Gligar. Okay. Items. We need Cherry, Rost, Persim, and Miracle Seed. Alright. This is a scary fight. Yeah, that's all I have to say. This is a scary fight. Let's run it. Alright, Volbeat. We lead Dreadnought. We are hoping for Tail Glow here. Tail Glow would be great. Discharge, that's fine. There's a good chunk. Paralyzed, we have Cherry Berry for that. Brings it below half. We outspeed, we can kill with another Rock Tomb. They go Jolteon, they are always clicking Thunderbolt. We can pivot through Donphan or Gligar, either work. And we're doing this because now they have a 90% chance to go for the Magnet Rise. Which means that Moongus can come in for free. If not, if they get the 10% to Hyper Voice, we should be okay, but this makes things a lot easier. They do get the 10% chance to Hyper Voice, that's crazy. Anyway, now we just kind of click Giga Drain and hope. With Miracle Seed, we do a good chunk. And we heal back a good chunk. I'm stupid. Okay. What's my play here? I think I'm gonna stay in and go for another Giga Drain here. First off, I was like, oh, I should have pre-burned because my plan was to pre-burn. But also, you cannot pre-burn in gyms, so I'm just silly. Okay, what's my plan? They're clicking Hyper Voice here. I can pivot through Dreadnought into Donphan. How much does Donphan take? From Hyper Voice? Yeah, no, I need to pivot through Dreadnought. Dreadnought takes like 20%. It should still be able to take the hits it needs to later, so I can go to Dreadnought here. This makes things very scary later, though. Because this means Donphan is going to take a big hit. And will likely... Oh, wait, no, it doesn't. Okay, cool. We're fine. They go Oricorio. Against a full health Donphan, Oricorio will be clicking Air Slash or Teeter Dance. We can go Dreadnought. Can we? So Dreadnought needs to be at least 14 HP. Yes, we can. Dreadnought is doing some heavy lifting here. They do just Teeter Dance, so now they should always Thunderbolt into my Ampharos. Or Revelation Dance, excuse me. And now I can 2-KO them with HP Ice. Though, I should Cotton Spore them first. There isn't really a reason not to, so just in case something goes wrong, I will Cotton Spore. They Teeter Dance, I have a Persim. Though, of course, it is used up now. I Hidden Power twice. And hope that I don't get really bad Confusion luck. If I do, I might be okay still. Okay, we just don't have to deal with that. It goes to Strika. I need to save Ampharos' health. I just go Donphan here. They low kick. I believe Bulldoze into Ice Shard kills. I have a Rossberry in case this burns. Ice Shard KOs. And now the scary guy comes out. So Galvantula should be clicking any move that isn't Thunderbolt. So I can go into Tentacruel here. They Giga Drain. Now, they should always be using Thunderbolt. So I go back to Ampharos. I am so glad I kept Cotton Spore on this Ampharos. I know someone in chat before said, like, Cotton Spore was never really getting clicked, but I have used it a lot. So Signal Beam, we just kind of hope that this doesn't confuse. It does not. We get Cotton Spore off. Now it's a very similar situation where they are clicking a random move that is not Thunderbolt. We can go back to Tentacruel. I click Signal Beam. Actually, I think it was always Signal Beam, but it doesn't matter. Now we go Gligar on the Thunderbolt. And now I go Dreadnought on the Hidden Power Ice. And Dreadnought KOs with Rock Slide. And outspeeds because of the Cotton Spore. Awesome. That was a battle. I think it was clean outside of the Amoonguss shenanigans, but it's okay. I mean, also, like, the thing is against the Oricorio, there's only so much you can do, but I just got lucky with the Confusion and not have to deal with it. So we have Ben, and then the double, and then Watson, which I will probably stop after Ben, or after the double, maybe after Ben, depending on how much trouble the double battle gives me in prep. So, let's get to prepping. Ben is a single battle, so I wanted to make sure of that. Ben. So Elite Porygon. Can Breloom just kill this guy? Not quite. And I do not have access to the Black Belt yet. This guy just having Bolt Beam is kind of annoying. Bolt Beam Recover is kind of a problematic combination. I could lead you and get an Acid Spray off. Because they're clicking Discharge with Thunder Wave. I can get a... or I can go for this. Then pivot through a ground type. Let's put Donphan for now. Into... So they take from Acid Spray minimum of 13. So 96 minus 13 would be 83. Obviously, I'm using, like, Tenta plus another Mon plus a pivot, but I'm realistically bringing one of my ground types anyway. And I need to pivot something into Ice Beam, which is a problem, actually. I can't kind of do that. I mean, I could just go into a Mon that, like, doesn't necessarily care that much about that. Into Discharge. Issue is my special attackers, they're still kind of weak. Too weak to KO them. Even with the, Acid Spray, so I don't think that's a plan that will work. I think, honestly, the way to go is just, like, weaken something, bait Discharge into Breloom, kill with Brick Break. So, like, Tenta can still work. If I get crit, okay, yeah, that's fine. So I think the play is, if I use Tenta Brine, does that put it in range? Okay, so Tentacruel, Cherry, Breloom, Cherry. Because honestly, I think the Porygon's kind of a problem for me, and I think the rest is handleable. Maybe. We'll see. Okay. Tentacruel. Brine into Breloom. Brick Break KOs Porygon. So Breloom's coming in. So Breloom will be from anywhere from like 100%. Okay. Oh yeah, and then against Tenta, they get the attack boost, so that does not matter. Against Breloom, they take anywhere from 0 to 33%. Rotom never sees kill, but it does see that it outspeeds, out damages. Golem does see kill, but is with explosion. Electrode sees sometimes that it kills and outspeeds. So they either go Golem or Electrode. Golem should not be a big deal. Okay, so first off, I'm gonna need Gastrodon for the Pikachu. That's for sure. Electrode is a scary guy. Why is it saying 0? Why is it saying that Explosion does 0 damage to Gligar? Why is it saying that? That should not be correct. Okay, well, if I change its type, it says it, so I think that's just a bug. With the calc or something. I mean, Psychic, it's the same, so, like, Explosion just fucking nukes Gligar. Oh, yeah, I should say special. It's physical. It's thinking Gligar is a ghost type for some reason. I don't know what that's about. Maybe if I change Gligar's typing again. Like this, and then... I'm very confused. So it thinks the ground type is... Does it do that with Donphan? Yeah. Oh, it's because it's galvanized. Oh wait, it's galvanized. So in that case, Gligar just walls this guy. Okay, that's great. I thought it was a bug. No, that's intended. Okay. So Gligar beats Electrode. Gastrodon beats Pikachu. Okay, so Gastrodon needs Orin. Gligar. Because the Electrode has Signal Beam, I will give it a Persim. Donphan is going to be my Golemanswer, I think. Which I probably need Rost for that guy. Donphan beats Golem. Now the question is, what's up with Rotom? Notably, with Rostberry, Donphan actually does pretty well still. Also, this guy can't really touch Sawsbuck, so I think Sawsbuck's my last Sawsbuck Rost. Okay. Cool. We have our plan. So we need... Am I putting the right one? The right team? Yeah. Tentacruel. Breloom. Gastrodon, Gligar, Donphan, and Sawsbuck. And then items. Cherry, Orin, Persim, Rost. Okay. I need to stop speeding up during battles, just in general. Now since I'm out of, like, Brawly split, I really need to stop doing that. I will speed up start. Okay, Ben, the trainer that shares a name with me. So they get the attack download boost here, which is important. I can use Brine to get a little bit of damage on it. Thunder Wave is best case scenario. So now they will use, since I heal up my Cherry Berry, they will either use Discharge or Thunder Wave again. So I can go into my Breloom here. As they Discharge. And Brick KOs from here. With the damage from Tenta. I couldn't just use Breloom because it would just drop to Ice Beam, so. Now, I believe it's Golem? It's Rotom, okay. So, I'm just gonna go Sawsbuck here and pray. That's my plan. I know, very sophisticated. They Wisp, I have Rossberry. And honestly, I kind of prefer being burned over paralyzed, because I think I can get hacked if I get paralyzed, but the plan is to just click Horn Leech until the Rotom dies. They Thunder Wave, that's annoying, but it's whatever. I know I said I was going to speed up during battles, but we're fine. Alright, Golem comes out. Donphan is my Golem answer. They Fire Punch, I have Ross, but it also doesn't really matter if they burn me here. They crit, as they get, that's their strongest move, I believe, so we're chilling. Actually, is it? No, they have Earthquake. Still. Anyway, we Bulldoze here, which can one-shot, will most likely two-shot. As they do whatever. And the nice thing is, since they're galvanized, their explosion does not affect me, so we are chilling. Cool. Crit does not matter, obviously. I believe Electrode's next. I don't know, actually. I would assume Electrode's next. Yep. It's clicking HP Grass. I can go straight into Gligar. I can also, in theory, go through Tenta. Because they'd be try-attacking the Tenta. Which, since they are also galvanized, Gligar can switch into. There's also a small chance they could explode, which would actually be beneficial for me, because then I just get them out of the way. Obviously, it doesn't really matter much, but it's something to consider. Tri-Attack does not affect me because they are galvanized, and Bulldoze 2-hit KOs, and that is Hidden Power Grass, so I don't take much damage. Bulldoze, I do not outspeed them after the speed drop here, but it still does enough damage. Anyway, Pikachu's left, and they don't have a great way of touching Gastrodon, and Gastrodon can 2-hit KO them with Earth Power. Actually, no, just 1-hit KOs them. What am I talking about? Earth Power. They E-speed because they see that I kill, and also, well, it's not that they see that they kill, it's because they're faster, it's just, that's their strongest move. And I Earth Power, kill them. Great. So now I believe we have a double battle upcoming. A tag battle, I should specify. Well, not a tag battle, because that implies that I have a partner too. A true double battle against Kirk, or not Kirk, Angelo and Sean. Which looks annoying. It is a plus-minus fight, which is fun. Okay. So, game. And get the calc open, switch it to doubles. Next trainer. So, I definitely want to target down one side. The question is, which side do I target down? Uh, so you have Focus Sash, you have Terrain Extender with Electric Terrain. Unfortunately, I cannot outspeed them, and I think they're kind of always clicking it unless they see a kill. Which, okay, if I have 1 HP Beedrill, do they go for it? No. Okay, that's good to know. I would likely want to pre-damage Beedrill, though, so that it does not, it always baits Thunderbolt, not Electroweb. Though, something interesting is because I can endure, I can bait, or I can, use Bulldoze with Donphan or Gligar here. But not Gligar, because Gligar baits HPS. Gastrodon Earth Power is very weak. Wow. Okay, actually, no, it almost kills mine. Why does it do... Oh, because Plus was a Shucko. I was looking at the wrong one. So in that case, maybe I was Soft Sand. I just... Oh, I don't quite do it. That's annoying. And then Plusle, obviously... Plusle also has Grass Knot, but they would never go for it over a guaranteed kill. Oh, wait, no, I cannot pre-damage here. Because they heal me up, so I need to remember that. I cannot pre-damage, meaning the Beedrill strat would not work. That being said... I believe that... No, actually, that doesn't work. Okay. I can still lead Donphan, because if they Grass Knot, I can live with Sturdy. And I can get a Bulldoze off on both. It never kills Plusle, even with a crit, but it does get a good speed drop, and it should... It can kill Minun with a crit, so I think I lead Donphan always. Okay. And it's slot 1 looks at slot 1, slot 2 looks at slot 2 for KO. So I think I want Donphan in slot 1. So 1. Donphan, Bulldoze. And then I think I want to try to bait maybe double T-Bolt. Like, for instance, they see kill on Qwilfish with Thunderbolt, so they wouldn't click Electroweb. And I can go into Gligar. So that's a great... That's really nice, actually. Okay. So, and then Qwilfish. Oh, yeah, it doesn't matter because they only have 2 mons anyway. Okay. Ooh. Possible ban evader. Get out of here. There's been a lot of Twitch bots, which is really annoying. Anyway, switch Qwilfish to Gligar on hopefully double Thunderbolt. So basically, after that, Plus will be low and at -1. Minun will either be low or dead. Let's look at the low angle for now. Gligar would outspeed and KO both with Bulldoze. The question is, would I want to KO both? Because I can just leave Minun on the field and it cannot touch me. So I think it would be better to KO the Plusle and then swap. Okay, so the big thing is, Donphan could be at like 1 HP. And that's scary because this Dedenne has Grass Knot. And I want to make sure that I always have a ground type that can always come in on Dedenne. And if Donphan isn't at full HP, it cannot do that. Because I believe Plusle will either randomly choose between Thunderbolt Qwilfish or Grass Knot the Donphan. Beedrill, unfortunately, is a little too strong. Out of curiosity. So if I was at 29, it would see kill. If I was 30, it would mostly see kill. So I would have needed it to be a 29, but I needed it for other fights, so what can you do? The issue with this plan is just the fact that Donphan can get low. Is there any way that I have to drop their speed that gets them in, like Gligar range? I don't think so. Stomping Tantrum from you is interesting, but you don't naturally outspeed, which is annoying. Walrein actually always lives. Or rather, if I bait a kill on the other slot, I can always... Okay, I have a plan. So I lead Walrein and Qwilfish. So Walrein, Icy Wind. And then I swap to Qwilfish. How much does Icy Wind do? Oh, but the issue is I don't break their Shaka. Which is important. I need to break their Shaka. Also, okay, so they're guaranteed to click... No, I think they're guaranteed... I think they prioritize... no, I think they can still Electric Terrain. Which should be okay. But yeah, the fact that this doesn't... Like, the only ground type I can lead is Donphan. Because, if I tried to Mudshot with oh, wait. Oh, Gastrodon just lives. Okay, in that case I lead Gastrodon, click Mudshot. And then swap to Gligar. Okay. So, Gastrodon... and Gligar. Okay. So... Gastrodon... Mudshot... Okay, the Plusle. Switch Qwilfish to Gligar on double Thunderbolt. Because it should prioritize the kill on Qwilfish over Grass Knotting the Gastrodon. Then they are at -1 on -1 on Plusle. So with doubles activated, they would have taken at a minimum 27. So 92 minus 27 is 65. So they have no Shuca Berry anymore. And they are at 65 HP. If I bring in Gligar, Bulldoze with Soft Sand. Okay, and if I have the other item, Wise Glasses. Will this work? So 30, so 92, that'd be 62. Soft Sand on Gligar without the Shuca. That barely works. Okay. So Gastrodon with Wise Glasses. Gligar with Soft Sand. Then turn 2, Gligar Bulldoze. I guess the issue with this is Gligar Bulldoze, especially with the Soft Sand, there is a chance that I kill the Minun. It's not super high. I think I'm just gonna play around it not killing the Minun. Because it's the chance of a crit plus 25%. So that's, what, a 1 in 64? I think I'm just gonna have to take that risk. Okay, Gligar Bulldoze. So Dedenne's base 92 speed. Dedenne always sees kill on Masquerain. So I can go Masquerain. Gligar Bulldoze. Swap Gastrodon to Masquerain. They go Dedenne. Using Thunderbolt on Masquerain. Dedenne never sees kill on Gligar, which is important. So they're Thunderbolting the Dedenne slot, or the Masquerain slot. Gligar Bulldoze unfortunately does jack shit to this guy. mean, the things that I have that do damage are... Okay, I mean, I'm never lowering its speed enough to get in Donphan or Gastrodon. At -1, Tenta outspeeds, so if I can get Tenta in... it's just scary because this Klinklang is a threat. And I don't believe I have anything that one-shots it. Because Muscle Band, Breloom does not. Again, it would be great to have a Salazzle right now. Or a Mudsdale. I think Mudsdale would also do it. This fight's rough, man. Okay, wait. Soft Sand? No, that doesn't do it. Your Wise Glasses. So notably, Gastrodon actually does pretty well into it. This Dedenne is a massive problem, though. So at this point, it is Minun Dedenne versus Gligar Masquerain. It's always Thunderbolting the Masquerain slot. Notably, I can kind of just swap between Masquerain, or I can swap to Gastrodon and kind of just swap between Gastrodon and Beedrill. Because Electric Terrain is up at this point. Actually, no, I think it has to be Donphan. So I can swap to Donphan on Thunderbolt, which baits Grass Knot. I can go Beedrill on the Grass Knot, take very little, bait a Rising Voltage, and just kind of go back and forth. As the Gligar kind of chips it down with, like, Aerial Ace. I can actually just use Masquerain. Okay. So I can just pivot between Donphan and Masquerain. Okay. Pivot between Donphan and Masquerain as Gligar beats down the Dedenne with... What does more damage? Aerial Ace. And then, okay. Gastrodon can be useful for handling the Klinklang. Gligar actually fucking drops the Steel Beam. I think I need to bring Tenta last because it's a mon that can tank Steel Beam well. And, yeah, I bring Tenta last, I think. Notably, also after Speed drops it outspeeds. Yeah, I bring Tenta last. Okay, so Qwilfish, Gligar, Donphan, or Masquerain, Donphan, the other guy, Tenta. Okay, so. I need... what do I need? I need Gastrodon, Qwilfish, which I already have, Gligar, Masquerain, Donphan, and Tenta. Items. Qwilfish should never really be doing anything, so I'll just give it Norin. Gastrodon needs Wise Glasses. Gligar needs Soft Sand. Can I afford to do the opposite, where Gastrodon has Soft Sand? I would assume no. So against Plusle, Soft Sand Mudshot does 33. So that would be left at 59. And then a Muscle Band Bulldoze without the Shucca would do 56. So yeah, no, I do need to do it this way. I just wanted to double check. Soft Stand. Orin. Alright, cool. Probably the last fight for today. In fact, definitely. Though I might try to cook Brawly a bit. We'll see. Honestly, there is a world where I fight Brawly this stream. I don't know. We'll see. Okay. They leave Plusle Minun. Which is scary. Okay. So I will Mudshot the Plusle. and I will switch Qwilfish into Gligar. They should double Thunderbolt the Gligar. Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt. Perfect. And I get the Mud Shot off on the Plusle, which breaks its Shuca Berry. And gets some damage off and gets a speed drop. Now, I will switch Gastrodon into Masquerain. And with Soft Stand, and then also with Wide Glasses on the Gastrodon, Bulldoze will barely guaranteed KO this Plusle. And I go into Masquerain because it will bait electric moves into the slot next turn, and it will be immune to Bulldoze. Electric Terrain gets set up. That actually helps me. Well, it doesn't really do anything, I believe. Bulldoze does not affect Masquerain. There is a very small chance Minun goes down here, which would be really bad. It's like a 1 in 64, I think. That does not happen. Speed drop a Minun could be useful later. And they go into their Dedenne. So now the plan is basically they see Grass Knot kill, or they see Thunderbolt kill on Masquerain, so I will go into Donphan on that. And I will Aerial Ace the Dedenne. They Rising Voltage. Aerial Ace. And they Thunderbolt. Now, Dedenne sees Grass Knot kill on Donphan. So I go Masquerain. And I Aerial Ace. And I just kind of rinse and repeat that pattern over and over. And I'm using Aerial Ace here because I don't want to bring in the, I don't want to bring in the Klinklang before I'm ready. But now it is in Bulldoze range, so I can go for the Bulldoze and also KO the Minun. As I bring Masquerain in, and Bulldoze kills both of them. Cool. Last one here is Klinklang. It will either be using the Rising Voltage onto Masquerain, or it will be using Steel Beam on the Gligar. So I will switch out into Gastrodon for Masquerain, and Tentacruel for Gligar. Steel Beam, that is best case scenario. It does very little damage, and they take a lot of recoil. Electricity disappears, so I can Earth Power plus swap to Donphan, and that should be the fight. They set up Electric Terrain, and they die to Earth Power. Alright, cool. Now to cook Watson. Which I could start on stream, why not? Alright. Watson, huh? Alright. Watson is a scary little man. Question, if I do this, will it move up? No. Okay, that makes sense. So I need to go like, oops. Need to go like, woo. That's weird, that's like jumping up. Okay, Watson. So, They lead Magnezone, who I think I have exactly one answer for. Actually, I could have two, because Breloom also might be able to do this. Breloom. Brick Break into Mach Punch KO. Oh, but they could just Raw Explosion. Never mind. I think it has, so in that case it has to be Donphan. So Donphan. Oh wait, that was when they weren't at 100%. Against Breloom, they could still explode. So I think the plan for now is going to be lead Donphan. Donphan Bulldoze into Ice Shard Magnezone. Obviously, already using a ground type is a bit rough. So I take at a minimum 72. So I'd be at like 28%. Lantern sees that it outspeeds and kills me, so they should go Lantern. And they will be using Scald or Ice Beam. What is my Lantern answer? I kind of don't have great options. I could go Gastrodon, but that is kind of scary because I do think I really want Gastrodon for Pokemon later in the fight. Amoonguss, I can guarantee come on Scald or Discharge. Probably Discharge because I would prefer to have. Well, no, they always Ice Beam anyway. But then they always Ice Beam me. I can use Tenta at the very least as a pivot. Ampharos can do some stuff. I do know that you often just use Ampharos to beat the Rotom though. Which I do kind of plan on doing. Ooh, I don't know if I can beat this of their Ampharos, I'm not gonna lie. We'll come back to that. They're going this guy clicking Scald or Ice Beam. Okay, you know what? Okay. So notably, I think I need to use Amoonguss for the Eel. Which I can just Giga Drain 4 times. So I would like to not come in on Thunder Punch. For Zeraora, I think I have to use Glide. That does nothing. Oh no. I don't have great Zeraora answers. I guess it's like, if I can guarantee myself... Well, no, then I can just die to Grassot. Okay. I mean, my Zeraora answers Donphan, kind of, but not really. Okay, that's a massive issue. I think in that case, my Zeraora answer has to be Amoonguss and, like, come in on close combat. So, okay, Lantern. Lantern, Lantern, Lantern. Let's not getting distracted. Lantern is a massive problem for me. Okay, let me think. So I'm already using Amoonguss because I think Amoonguss is my only good Eel answer. I'm already using Ampharos. And I'm already using... Wait, no, I need Gastrodon... Wait, who am I... No, I know I was using someone for Zera. Who was it? Oh no, I'm using Amoonguss for Zera. And I guess I'm using Gastrodon for Eel. That doesn't seem like the correct play. Kind of have nothing for Eel, though, outside of Amoonguss, so I need for the other guy. I could, like, Breloom Worry Seed it into Gastrodon, I guess, but that's kind of bad. We'll come back. I think Gastrodon has to be my answer into Lantern. The issue is, if I switch it on Ice Beam and get frozen, things get scary. Question, will it change its AI if I'm frozen? No, okay. In that case, I think I'm able to just run, like, Citrus. Okay. Gastrodon with Citrus. Gastrodon, come in on Lantern to a KO with Earth Power. And I think I just pray, right? Okay. Now, Gastrodon's in. Where's Gastrodon? You could see kill depending on how low I am. And you definitely would see kill. So they either go Rotom or Zera. Let's plan out the Rotom line first. Ampharos can just come in on Rotom, KO with there's no Electric Terrain up. I've been calculating with Electric Terrain up. I don't think that doesn't change anything. Okay. So Ampharos comes in on Air Slash. I just run Rost and I click Ampharos Rost. HP Ice. Is Thunder Punch better? Or Ice Punch? Because I believe I can get the Elemental Punches. No, it is not. Okay. So then I would be at somewhat low HP. They should never go there, Ampharos. Because their other mons have damage. I think they would always go Zera. They go Zera Aura using... They'd be using close combat, right? Let's say I'm like 50. Yeah, they're using close combat. Go Amoonguss on Zera Aura. KO them with Giga Drains. As for Amoonguss item, I don't believe I run any item on Amoonguss. Because they will just click knockoff. So Amoonguss, no item. After that, they will likely go base Ampharos, clicking... Okay. So I need to figure out what the hell I'm doing against these last two mons. And the answer is probably sacrificing things. Because I lost my Mudstail. Like, I think Gligar probably has to go. God, Gligar does nothing, though. Oh, wait, that's... Does that affect anything? I forgot to switch it off. Does that mean Gligar can, like, take on anything else? Probably not, right? No. Okay. Gligar dying to Flash Cannon crit really sucks. Okay. So, I mean, I think either way, because, like, it doesn't really matter what order they go into. Ampharos and Amoonguss can just do their jobs. This guy will very likely click Coil on both my guys, which is a massive problem for me. Breloom Giga Drain just doesn't do enough damage. Gastrodon would likely be fairly low. So I don't really think I have a Eel answer. Yeah, I just kind of don't have an Eel answer. Best I can do is, like, go Breloom, Brick Break into Worry Seed, and then try to get Gastrodon in, or just go Breloom with Miracle Seed. Not Miracle Berry. Ugh. That does no damage. I could scale Walrein to get Encore. If I do that, I'd be able to win if I guaranteed bait Aqua Tail. How would I do that, though, right? Because they're clicking Coil or Thunder Punch into Amoonguss. So I'd be able to go Donphan, bait Coil or Aqua Tail. How much HP does Coil have? Coil is 32. Okay, so in that case, I can go Walrein. Walrein. Scale Encore. Okay. Walrein, or pivot through Donphan, or pivot into Walrein, Encore, beat Eel. So, that's the only way I can see my team beating Eel. And now there's a massive Ampharos problem. Unfortunately, my ground types are slower, which is problematic. I guess in theory I could, scale speed on Donphan? Do I even have that many scales? I don't know. Anyway. I'm going to prep the rest of this off stream. I have something I need to do now that I've just been informed about. So thanks for joining. Next time we will do Watson and decide what to do from there.